Hello everybody, my name is Kevin. Welcome to my shop. Today I want to be talking about filming. If they came out with an award for worst film, worst direction, I would be probably in the top 5. I just am not good with these cameras. I have a Samsung camera. It's a H264 or something like that. And I don't get it. I really, I suck. I really do. Forgive me, I've had bronchitis for the last week. That's why I haven't been out here to make anything, do any turning. I wanted something that supposedly had the best filming capabilities, and everybody says by far the Google Pixel 3 is the phone of choice. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to make some type of a holder, stand, whatever you want to call it, for this phone. Some of you guys, like if you watch Jay Bates or Matt Cremona or April Wilkerson, Anna of All Trades, Frank Howard's, a lot of these guys, they are really good with technology and they're really good at producing their films. They know what they're doing. It's like Wired that way. She's really smart. Jay Bates is really good at making films. I suck. I'm never going to be accused of being a great filmmaker. All I'm guilty of is I do wood turning and some stuff in the shop. I've dreamt of having a wood shop for all my life. I wanted to be like my grandpa, but my grandpa could make things with a handsaw and a plane. The last time I went home, my cousin, he knew I'd gotten into woodworking. He gave me one of my grandpa's old hand planes, and since I've been going to different auctions and flea markets, I always look for these old hand tools. Nothing fancy. I don't spend a lot of money. I just buy what's affordable to me. I love to critique what other people are doing, especially in wood turning, as to what I think they are doing wrong. The Jet 1221 VS, variable speed, for turning pins has been an awesome lathe. And I have, right now, if you look, I have my mandrel set up on the lathe, right there. That's the pin mandrel with the mandrel saver and the tailstock. And all of the stuff you see on the floor there, that is just small shavings that comes off of my pin blank. It's just not as efficient as the Delta was. Just my opinion. I had a lot of luck with Delta. It's a shame that they're probably no longer in business. The Powermatic for turning bowls and doing spindle work, it is a workhorse. I have stopped it in its tracks while turning, but it's not the motor that stops. I've stopped the piece and the belt keeps spinning. That's what I think is a working monster of a lathe. 2 horsepower, does what I want it to do, got a good motor, good lathe. There again, it's my opinion. Another guy in our club, his name is Jerry Jensen. He just got the 3520C. That is a beautifully designed lathe. They did a lot of thought with it and it works really well. Mine stays dirty and around my lathe 99% of the time. Some guys are cleanaholics. Again, Jerry Jensen, my buddy, he keeps his shop spotless. Takes the air compressor, blows it off, takes his dust collector, picks up all the sawdust around the machine daily. There's never a time I've been to his shop and it's been dirty. There's been a little bit of sawdust under the lathe, but when he's done, it gets swept, it gets vacuumed, and in the trash and outside of his shop that day within the hour. That is dedication. If you watch Jay Bates's last video, he talks about how he keeps his shop clean. He makes a mess, he cleans it up, he moves on to something else. I'm not that person. My workbench right now is a mess. I have stuff laying out that is just, I can't find anything for the mess. But I'm that way. I get started on one project, I get it just about done, and I'm like, okay, wipe my hands clean of that, go to the next one. Get somewhere with that one, and my mind's going a million miles a minute, and I'm thinking, okay, what can I do next? Like right now, I'm running off at the mouth, and I'm not telling you guys what my thing is. Well, what I'm going to do, hopefully, I'm not a... Alright, I'm going to put this out there. Guys like Jay Bates and April Wilkerson, I've been watching them forever. And like I've told you guys, on my wall is a plaque that is signed by Jay, April Wilkerson, and Nick Ferry. They had a meet and greet here in Green Bay a couple years ago, and I got to meet them, and they came over to see my little bitty not too fancy wood shop, and that was the highlight of my year. I can't say it enough. Jay is a nice guy. Nick is a really nice guy. April, she came in, she listened to us talk, listened to me bullshit, and then she saw my dog in the yard, and she went and she spent more time with the dog than she did with us. And my dog was ready to go home with her. When you see her dogs in the pictures with her on her videos, that's for real. She loves animals and they like her a lot. Okay, enough of my long-winded conversation here. What I'm going to try to do is get on my table saw, take some scrap pieces of plywood, and I'm going to try and measure out my phone, my new Pixel 3 from Google, and make a stand for it where I can put it in and try and film with it and see if it makes better films, or if it films better than the Samsung camera that I have, the one that I'm filming on right now. If I can get onto my editing software after this is made, hopefully I can join the filming from the Pixel to the end of what has been done with the Samsung, and hopefully we can see a difference, or I can see a difference. Hopefully you can see a difference too, because like right now I'm looking at the viewfinder on the Samsung and everything looks greenish yellow to me. But if I look at my shop, I've got 6 sets of K5s in the ceiling, 8 foot long, and they produce a true white light. I don't understand why, after having it set on the camera in the settings for fluorescent lights, why it still turns green. That, well, after reading and doing some research online, the Pixel 3 is supposed to compensate for that, and hopefully I'll be able to put out a better product of film. Always wanted to do woodworking. I've got the tools. I've got a nice 24 by 24 garage that's turned into a workshop. I'm going to go to the table saw, make some measurements of my phone, cut out some pieces of wood, try and get them glued together, and hopefully come up with a... Today I am experimenting with using my Samsung video camera and using my new Pixel 3 phone, Android. thanks for watching, guys.
I made a bracket.
If you like what I did
with this
my
bowl where
tripod,
I put the wedge in there,
and my phone,
and then tomorrow I'll finish it up by adding some epoxy with some color to it for those cracks. I'm going to trim them out with my Dremel.
The only downside to this for
see what I
me
can come up with
is not being
like
able
it.
to see myself on the screen, so I don't know exactly where I'm at.
Give me that big
Hopefully
thumbs up.
this works out. I'm going to go in the house now.
Put it right between the eyes.
And try and bring it all together.
Thanks for watching.
First time, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Filming with 2 cameras and bringing 2 cameras together. So, cross my fingers. Wish me luck. All right, I walked over here to my little stack of cord bowls that I have. I did this with my one-way coring system. There's not much for a crotch figure in the middle of the bowl, and then there's a crack on the outside here, and I'm not sure how deep that runs. And then what I might do is take and run that on the bandsaw and make a wedge and glue a piece of wood in the center, maybe black walnut or possibly maple. I don't know if I want to go darker or lighter yet. So I'm going to throw this. Look at that, boy, the picture quality of that is a lot better than it is with my video camera. I'll be back. Okay, I've got my phone mounted in the mount on my tripod, and now I'm going to try and see what I can do with this bowl. Okay, well, that works. Close enough. All right. Get another light on the subject. See if that gets blinded out. Nope. Wow, that's pretty good. Get my Vicmark chuck out. Get my long jam chuck, because I don't see my short jam chuck. I knew it was where I left it. Alright, hopefully I can get slow RPMs, find my face mask. Alright, my tenon is round, and see if we got enough tenon to grab a hold of. Oof, barely. Alright. Here I'm going to be working with a pull cut. Alright, I'm starting to get a rough shape to the outside of the bowl. It doesn't look like this crack is going to go away. It looks like it does go all the way through. Okay, what I did was I went over to the bandsaw and I cut a V wedge in the end of the bowl. Now what I'm going to do is cut out a piece of black walnut and glue in there. Okay, what I did was I cut a black walnut wedge, drove it into the V with some Titebond number 3, and I'm going to let this dry until tomorrow about this time, and then I'll come back and cut off the extension piece. And then what I'm going to do, I think, is take my Dremel and widen the crack in the bowl and fill that with epoxy with some color to it. Maybe even each one of those little cracks on the side. So, in person. Okay, how can I switch that around? Can I?